A knockout machine with devastating power and an iron will. Anthony Joshua has conquered the heavyweight division, taking down legends and cementing his place among boxing's greatest. But his success isn't just measured in title belts. His fortune and lifestyle are just as jaw-dropping. With an estimated net worth of $80 million, AJ enjoys the finer things in life, from his fleet of Rolls-Royces and custom Range Rovers to his multi-million-dollar mansions. And when he's not training for his next mega fight, he's living like a king, sealing endorsement deals and expanding his empire beyond the ring. But how'd he get here? What battles shaped his legacy? And just how much higher can he climb? Stick around to find out. And before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an epic boxing story. Now, let's dive into the incredible journey of Anthony Joshua. On October 15th, 1989, in Watford, Hertfordshire, a future heavyweight king was born. Anthony Oluwafemi Olaseni Joshua entered the world with a legacy already woven into his bloodline. His mother, Yetta, a proud Nigerian, and his father, Robert, of Nigerian and Irish descent, passed down a rich heritage tracing back to the Yoruba people, where Joshua holds aristocratic rank. But royalty meant nothing in the ring. Only hunger, drive, and resilience could carve a champion. His early life was a tale of two worlds. He spent his formative years in Nigeria, attending the prestigious Mayflower School in Ikan, a setting that instilled discipline and a sense of purpose. But life took a sharp turn when his parents separated, and at the age of 12, he returned to the UK, thrust into a new reality. In the bustling corridors of King's Langley Secondary School, he became known simply as Femi, a nickname from his Yoruba middle name, Oluwafemi. Even then, his athletic prowess was undeniable. He was fast, so fast that in year 9, he shattered his school's 100-meter record with a blistering 11.6 seconds. Whether on the football pitch or the running track, Joshua thrived, but fate had a different battleground in mind for him. It wasn't long before he stepped into the ring, and from that moment, everything changed. His natural power, discipline, and sheer determination catapulted him through the amateur ranks. In 2011, he announced himself to the world at the World Championships, clinching a silver medal in the super heavyweight division. 1 year later, in front of an electrified London crowd, he seized Olympic gold for Great Britain, a defining moment that turned him from a promising athlete into a national icon. In 2013, Joshua took the next leap. He turned professional, making his debut alongside his cousin, Ben Iliemi. What followed was nothing short of a meteoric rise. By 2015, he had conquered the British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles, and just a year later, he stood atop the world, claiming the unified heavyweight championship. But one fight would etch his name in history forever. In 2017, under the bright lights of Wembley Stadium, Joshua faced the legendary Vladimir Klitschko in a fight that would go down as one of the greatest heavyweight battles of all time. The world watched as he went toe-to-toe with the seasoned champion, trading thunderous blows in a war of wills. Then, in the 11th round, Joshua unleashed a devastating uppercut, sending Klitschko crashing to the canvas. The crowd erupted, and Joshua's victory was cemented, not just as a title win, but as the fight of the year, honored by the Ring and the Boxing Writers Association of America. Standing at a towering 6 feet 6 inches and weighing a formidable 113 kilograms, Joshua was a physical force unlike any other. But his empire extended beyond the ring. Endorsements, business ventures, and strategic partnerships propelled his net worth to an estimated $80 million by 2025. When he first laced up boxing gloves at the relatively ancient age of 18, few could have predicted that this late-blooming athlete would revolutionize British heavyweight boxing. In 2007, following his cousin's casual suggestion, Joshua walked into Finchley ABC in North London and discovered not just a sport, but his destiny. His natural gifts were immediately apparent. His powerful frame housed explosive athleticism that accelerated his progress at a pace that defied conventional wisdom. Within just 3 years, he had twice claimed the Haringey Box Cup and won the senior ABA championships after only 18 bouts. When offered £50,000 to turn professional, a fortune for a young man from modest beginnings, Joshua's response revealed his character. Turning down that £50,000 was easy. "I didn't take up the sport for money. I want to win medals." His amateur career reached its apex at the 2012 London Olympics. After securing silver at the 2011 World Championships in Baku, Joshua entered the Games as a relative newcomer to the elite level. The Olympic tournament became a gauntlet of champions. First, Cuban Erislandy Savon, nephew of three-time Olympic champion Felix Savon. Then Beijing's silver medalist Zhang Zhilei, followed by Kazakhstan's Ivan Dichko in the semifinal. The gold medal match pitted Joshua against Italian Roberto Camarel, the reigning Olympic champion. After falling behind in the first 2 rounds, Joshua mounted a spirited comeback to level the scores at 18-18. When his hand was raised via countback, some experts dismissed it as a home decision, but the gold medal that hung around his neck silenced debate. In just 5 years, the late starter had climbed to Olympic glory. His amateur record closed at an impressive 40-3, earning him an MBE in the 2013 New Year Honors. On July 11, 2013, Joshua turned professional under Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport, beginning a partnership that would transform boxing's commercial landscape in Britain. His debut at London's O2 Arena lasted just 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Enough time to dispatch Italian Emanuele Leo by technical knockout and showcase the devastating power that would become his calling card. What followed was a procession of increasingly impressive victories. His first 10 professional fights totaled a mere 36 minutes in the ring, with none of his opponents hearing the final bell. After claiming the WBC International Heavyweight title in October 2014, Joshua continued his ascent, becoming the first man to stop durable veteran Kevin Johnson in May 2015, a feat neither Vitaly Klitschko, Tyson Fury, nor Derek Chisora had managed. On September 12, 2015, Joshua claimed the Commonwealth heavyweight title by demolishing undefeated Scottish boxer Gary Cornish in just 90 seconds. 3 months later came a pivotal moment, a grudge match against Dillian Whyte, the only man to have defeated Joshua as an amateur. After weathering his first professional crisis in the second round, Joshua responded with a devastating 7th-round knockout that added the British heavyweight title to his collection and reportedly earned him £3 million. AJ's coronation as a world champion came on April 9, 2016, when he faced IBF heavyweight champion Charles Martin at the O2 Arena. In a dominant display, Joshua floored the Southpaw champion twice in the second round with surgical straight right hands, claiming his first world title with dismissive ease. Martin's 85-day reign became the second shortest in professional boxing history, a footnote in Joshua's rapidly expanding legacy. After successful defenses against Dominic Breazeale and Eric Molina, he faced his defining challenge, a unification bout with legendary champion Vladimir Klitschko for the vacant WBA Super title. On April 29, 2017, before a post-war record crowd of 90,000 at Wembley Stadium, they delivered a heavyweight classic that will be spoken of for generations. After 4 cautious rounds, Joshua dropped Klitschko in the 5th, only to be knocked down himself in the 6th, his first professional crisis. The middle rounds became a battle of attrition before Joshua found his second wind in the 11th, sending Klitschko to the canvas twice before forcing the referee's intervention. In that moment of triumph, Joshua unified the IBF and WBA heavyweight titles and announced himself as the division's new standard-bearer. Following Klitschko's retirement, Joshua defended his titles against Carlos Takam and added the WBO belt with a unanimous decision victory over Joseph Parker, his first fight to go the distance. A 7th-round knockout of Alexander Povetkin in September 2018 maintained his perfect record and unified champion status. Then came boxing's equivalent of a Greek tragedy. Making his U.S. debut at Madison Square Garden on June 1, 2019, Against late replacement Andy Ruiz Jr., Joshua suffered one of boxing's greatest upsets. After dropping Ruiz in the third round, Joshua was himself knocked down 4 times before the referee stopped the contest in the 7th. The sight of a disoriented Joshua surrendering his unified titles to a significant underdog sent shockwaves through the sporting world. 6 months later in Saudi Arabia, a reinvented Joshua showcased his adaptability. Boxing with discipline and intelligence, a slimmer Joshua reclaimed his unified titles via unanimous decision, proving his capacity for honest self-assessment and tactical reinvention. His next challenge came against Kubrat Pulev in December 2020, resulting in a 9th-round knockout victory. Plans for an undisputed championship fight with Tyson Fury were scuttled by legal complications, leading instead to a mandatory defense against former undisputed cruiserweight champion Alexander Usyk. On September 25, 2021, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, his technical limitations were exposed by the brilliant Ukrainian. Usyk's movement, angles, and variety proved too much as he outboxed the bigger man over 12 rounds. Their rematch in August 2022 saw an improved Joshua performance, but Usyk retained his titles via split decision, triggering an uncharacteristic emotional outburst from Joshua that revealed the psychological toll of consecutive defeats. The road back began with victories over Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and Otto Wallin, followed by a statement second-round knockout of former UFC champion Francis Ngannou in March 2024. This resurgence led to an IBF title challenge against Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium on September 21, 2024. In a shocking upset that echoed the Ruiz defeat, Dubois dropped Joshua multiple times before securing a 5th-round knockout. Once again, heavyweight boxing's brutal unpredictability had humbled a champion who seemed destined for inevitable glory. Through it all, the meteoric rise, the spectacular victories, the shocking defeats, and the determined comebacks, Anthony Joshua has embodied heavyweight boxing's eternal drama. His journey from novice to Olympic champion, from knockout artist to tactical boxer adapting to his limitations, from unified world champion to twice-dethroned challenger, stands as one of boxing's most compelling modern sagas. What makes his story particularly resonant is not just his achievements, but his human vulnerability. His willingness to reinvent himself after defeat, his gracious handling of both triumph and disaster, and his commercial appeal that transcended the sport have made him a cultural icon beyond the confines of the ring. His life outside the ring has been as eventful as his career inside it, shaped by personal struggles, redemption, and a relentless drive for self-improvement. Before he became a household name in boxing, he worked as a bricklayer, laying foundations in a very different way. But his path took several detours before he found discipline through the sport. In 2009, his life took a dark turn when he was remanded in Reading Prison for what he later described as fighting and other crazy stuff. Upon release, he wore an electronic tag on his ankle, a constant reminder of the mistakes he was trying to leave behind. But trouble followed him again in 2011 when he was pulled over for speeding in North London. Hidden in a sports bag inside his Mercedes-Benz, police found 8 ounces of herbal cannabis, leading to charges of possession with intent to supply, a crime that could have cost him everything, carrying a maximum sentence of 14 years. Suspended from the GB boxing squad, he faced the reality of his choices, eventually pleading guilty and receiving a 12-month community order along with 100 hours of unpaid work. It was a moment of reckoning, a point where he had to decide whether to let his past define him or fight for a different future. His love for competition wasn't limited to boxing. He found strategy and discipline in the game of chess, sharpening his mind the same way he honed his skills in the ring. Reading also became an important part of his growth, helping him develop a deeper understanding of tactics, not just in boxing, but in life itself. When it came to boxing history, Joshua had his own list of legends who shaped his approach to the sport. He once named Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, and Evander Holyfield as the greatest heavyweights of all time, drawing inspiration from their careers as he carved out his own legacy. But beyond his achievements, there was another role that defined him: fatherhood. In 2015, he welcomed his son, Joseph Joshua, with his ex-girlfriend, dance teacher Nicole Osborne. Despite their separation, they have maintained a cordial relationship, and he remains a devoted father, keeping his personal life relatively private. Over the years, he has been linked to several high-profile celebrities, but he has consistently emphasized that his main focus is on his career and family, avoiding distractions that could take him away from his ultimate goals. His journey in professional boxing wasn't just about titles and knockouts. It was also about the relationships he built along the way. Since his debut in 2013, his partnership with promoter Eddie Hearn became one of mutual trust and loyalty. Even as his career took him to new heights, Joshua always spoke of his strong bond with Hearn, calling it a friendship that went beyond business. As he expanded his ambitions beyond boxing, Joshua's competitive nature led him into the world of Formula One. In 2023, he became part of the investment group for the Alpine racing team, stepping into yet another high-stakes arena. It was a testament to his ever-evolving mindset. Whether in the ring, at the chessboard, or in the business world, he never stopped looking for the next challenge, the next fight worth winning. A fierce competitor inside the ropes, he has also built a reputation as a sharp businessman, diversifying his income streams and laying the foundation for long-term financial success. His promotional company, Sparta Promotions Limited, has thrived in recent years, with 2023 marking a particularly profitable year, raking in an impressive £35.9 million in profit and pushing its equity value to £129 million. But boxing alone was never going to be his only avenue. Joshua's marketability has made him a magnet for some of the biggest brands in the world. With endorsement deals from Under Armour, Jaguar Land Rover, Hugo Boss, Beats, and Lucozade, he has leveraged his global appeal into lucrative partnerships that continue to bolster his wealth. His influence extends beyond advertisements and sponsorships. He has cultivated his own brand, AJBXNG, a clothing line that embodies his personal style and boxing legacy, giving his fans a chance to connect with his journey through fashion. But for him, success isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about reaching the pinnacle of financial achievement. He has openly expressed his ambition to become a billionaire, constantly seeking new opportunities to expand his ventures and investments. His drive to dominate in and out of the ring mirrors the same relentless spirit that earned him championship belts. Yet, with fame and influence comes scrutiny. In 2017, Joshua found himself at the center of controversy after a social media post surfaced, in which he referred to heavyweight boxer Eddie Chambers as a disgrace to the superior black race. The statement ignited a media storm. His promoter, Eddie Hearn, initially claimed the message had come from a fake account, but when Chambers provided evidence linking the comment to Joshua's verified profile, the explanation crumbled. Around the same time, Joshua also appeared to show support for Zimbabwean dictator Robert Mugabe on Snapchat, further fueling debates about his social media presence. Hearn later insisted that Joshua had a major problem with his social media accounts, even suggesting they may have been hacked, but the controversy had already made its mark. A few years later, in 2020, he again found himself under fire, this time for a speech he delivered at a Black Lives Matter protest in Watford. Standing before a passionate crowd, he urged people to show them where it hurts, abstain from spending your money in their shops and economies, and invest in black-owned businesses. While many saw this as a rallying cry for economic empowerment, some interpreted it as a call to boycott white businesses, leading to accusations of racism. The backlash spread across social media, prompting him to clarify that the words he spoke weren't his own, but those of a friend for whom he was reading the speech. And in a blunt response to his critics, he didn't mince words. "If you think I'm a racist, go F yourself." For Joshua, the road to success has been paved with victories and challenges, accolades and controversies. Beyond the roaring crowds and championship belts, he has crafted a life of refined luxury that mirrors the disciplined excellence he brings to the boxing ring. While his humble beginnings and grounded personality remain central to his character, The fruits of his pugilistic labor have enabled a lifestyle befitting boxing royalty. Joshua's property portfolio tells the story of a man who believes in solid foundations. What began with a modest purchase of his mother's council flat in North London for £175,000 has evolved into an impressive real estate empire. His primary residence, a £1 million architectural gem nestled in North London, serves as a sanctuary between grueling training camps. Yet this is merely the cornerstone of his property investments. In his hometown of Watford, Joshua maintains several houses collectively valued at over £2 million, creating a private compound that offers both luxury and the comforting familiarity of his roots. Rather than flaunting his wealth through a single ostentatious mansion, he has strategically diversified his property holdings, demonstrating the same tactical intelligence outside the ring that has made him formidable within it. The champion's appreciation for masterful engineering extends to his automotive collection, which balances sophistication with understated power. On any given day, Joshua might be spotted behind the wheel of his customized Range Rover, his autobiography Dynamic, a vehicle whose £150,000 price tag is justified by its blend of robust performance and refined comfort. For more formal occasions, his Mercedes-Benz V8 provides an elegant presence, while his Jaguar XJR offers the exhilarating speed that resonates with a fighter accustomed to split-second timing. Perhaps most revealing of Joshua's character is the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a vehicle he purchased not for himself, but as a gift for his mother, reflecting the family values that anchor him despite his extraordinary success. Each vehicle in his collection suggests a man who appreciates quality craftsmanship rather than flashy ostentation. Time itself receives the champion's respect, as evidenced by his collection of precision timepieces. Joshua's wrists have displayed horological masterpieces like the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, a watch whose mechanical complexity mirrors the intricate footwork and technical skill he employs in the ring. His particular fondness for the Royal Oak chronograph in rose gold, often glimpsed during press conferences and public appearances, reveals an appreciation for tradition fused with contemporary flair. These aren't merely accessories, but investments that appreciate alongside his legacy in the sport. When the rigors of training camps and promotional tours subside, Joshua embraces the restorative power of luxury travel. Private jets transport him to exclusive destinations where privacy comes standard, from Mediterranean coastal retreats to Dubai's opulent resorts. These journeys serve both as rewards for his professional dedication and as necessary respites that allow him to return to training with renewed focus. What distinguishes his approach to luxury is the intentionality behind it. Each acquisition seems calculated rather than impulsive, reflecting a man building not just a collection of status symbols, but a carefully constructed lifestyle ecosystem. This measured approach to wealth mirrors his boxing style: patient, strategic, and devastating when necessary. In this way, the elegant trappings of his success become not ends in themselves, but fitting accessories to the ongoing story of a remarkable athlete who understands that true luxury lies in the freedom to define success on one's own terms. And that's the story of Anthony Joshua, his fights, his fortune, and his unbreakable will to win. But his journey is far from over, and with more legendary battles ahead, his legacy is only growing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest boxing content. And if you want exclusive perks, behind-the-scenes updates, and early access to special content, consider joining our channel membership. You'll get access to members-only benefits that true boxing fans won't want to miss. And don't stop here. Check out this next video on another legendary Miguel Cotto you won't believe. Just click on the screen and keep the action going. See you in the next one.